Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be taking the reality check assessment on MCIS and putting that information into our Google Sites. So, the first thing I would like you to open up is the reality check assessment worksheet. I'm going to read you the instructions and show you which questions you'll have to answer after you take your assessments. So, go ahead and pause this video and open up that Google Doc. Okay, so after high school, you are going to need to pay for clothing, housing, transportation, and much more. You will need money and an occupation that will pay for all of your needs. This activity will help you become more realistic about how much money you will need to live the life you desire and which occupations will pay for all of your needs. The reality check assessment is going to help you with this immensely. So, here are the written instructions of how you're going to complete your reality check. I am going to help you in this video. So, I'm not going to spend time reading through this because I don't think it's necessary, but it is there for you learners who are more uh, who like to just read things instead of watch a video or listen to someone explaining it. Um, I'm going to show you how to take the reality check, but before I do that, there are some questions that you're going to answer, and there's two questions. So the first one will be, once you get done with your reality check, there's a question or there is a statement here that says list all of the occupations that meet your education and career preferences and wages. Okay, and so I'll show you how to find that information. And then the second question goes into a second page and it says, what did you learn about yourself from this career assessment, the reality check, that you just completed? Okay, so go ahead, pause the video again, and open up MCIS, and I will show you how to find that assessment. All right, so now that you're logged into MCIS, what you're going to do is hover over the assessments tab. Make sure you're not clicking, you're just kind of hovering your mouse over it. And then you're going to go down to reality check, which is in the what lifestyle can I afford section. So again, you will hover over assessments and then click on reality check. This is what the reality check assessment will look like. There is a video here that I want you to all to watch. So go ahead and pause my video to go to MCIS and watch their video. It's only 1 minute and 13 seconds, so it shouldn't take you too long. Okay, great. Now that you've watched that video, you're ready to take the assessment. So what you're going to do is just scroll down a little bit on your screen here and click this big blue button that says Start Your Reality Check. The questions are fairly simple, but I want you to move through this reality check as best you can. The first question that they ask is, where do you want to live? Okay. MCIS is a Minnesota career database. So while there is some information about other states in the United States, it's mainly focused around Minnesota. So what I want you to do is pick an area in Minnesota here that you would like to live in. If you're thinking about staying close to home, close to Fairmont, pick the Mankato area. That is definitely the closest to us. If you're thinking you want to live in the cities, choose Minneapolis, St. Paul. If living up north is more your style, you really like the Northwoods of Minnesota, click up into Bemidji, Duluth, or Moorhead. But go ahead and select a city that you want to live in after high school. Then you're going to click Next. Okay, and now this is where I'm going to have you pause the video and go through the questions because the reality check will deal with all of these icons up here, and you don't need me to walk you through every little piece of it. So, the first question is like, what type of house, or the second question is, what type of housing will you need? So, pick where you want to live. What do you want to live in? Do you want a house? You think in an apartment? Are you going to live with your mom and dad your whole life, right? So, what type of housing will you need? Click on it and then hit next. So again, pause the video, complete the assessment, start the video back up when you're done. Once you have answered all the questions, this is what your results start to look like. Okay, so adding it all up, below are the amounts of items you have selected. Now that you know how much your expenses are, the next step is to find out which occupations pay you the salary you need to afford your lifestyle. So for an example's sake, here is my monthly budget or the salary I need for my monthly budget. My monthly expenses are just under $4,000. So the salary that I need to support myself is just under $60,000. Okay, and this is actually the first information we are going to put into our Google Sites portfolio. So the next thing I want you to open up is your Google Sites. So pause the video and open up sites.google.com. You can also click on the link in Schoology. Okay, as always, when you open up your Google Sites portfolio, it always opens up to your homepage. So it's perfect. We're going to go to our Know Myself tab and go to Reality Check. Working our way down the Know Myself section. And in this area, you're going to put a text box, change it to title. And for your title here, I want you to put salary needed. Salary needed for my career. Okay, so salary needed for my career. That looks good. And add another text box. And what I want you to do is put this number in here. So you can actually just highlight it and copy and paste. Of course, I'm going to change the text color back to black because I want everything to look uniform. But the salary needed for my career in order to support myself is the number that was given on your reality check assessment. Okay, so your number will look a little different, but go ahead and put that number in. Okay, so the next thing we need to do here after you put that number in is we're going to hit next. And this is asking us how much education or training you plan to complete. If you know how much education you need, you can hit yes. Okay. For me, because I put in my assessment earlier that my student loans, I'm going to pay off a bachelor's degree, which is 4 years. It already has that selected for me. But if you're not quite sure, you can hit not yet. And it's just going to say like all the education options are open to you. But if you know what you kind of want to do with your life, but you don't know how much schooling it's going to take, pause the video, raise your hand, and ask me because I can help you with that. An associate's degree is 2 years, a bachelor's degree is 4 years, and a master's degree is 6 or more years. So make sure you ask for this. So again, I know that I need 4 years, so I'm going to apply that to my assessment. So then you can hit next. And then do you know which career clusters you're interested? And here's what I want everyone to do, even if you're not quite sure, okay? I want you to hit yes because it's going to open up this list here for you. And again, if you know, I want to be a psychologist, well, then you're going to look probably in the health sciences field or maybe even the human services field. If you want to be a social worker, if you want to be a police officer, you're going to look in law and safety. Maybe you want to work in business management or you want to be a teacher in education. Find the career cluster that matches what you're kind of thinking right now. Okay. And if you're not quite sure, you like have absolutely no idea whatsoever, you can click all of these clusters. You can choose as many as you need, but the more you choose, the longer the list of occupations it's going to be for you. So I'm going to choose a couple: education and training, because I'm a teacher, that is an interest of mine. I'm going to also choose business management and administration because I'm a business teacher, so I have an interest in business. And I'm also going to choose marketing. So I'm going to pick those 3 and I'm going to hit apply. And then it will come up with a list for me here. Okay. So again, pause the video and get to this part of, do you know which career clusters you're in? Once you have that complete, let's go back to our Google Sites. Let's add a text box, make it a title. And let's put down career clusters. That's all you have to put. We'll add another text box, and I want you to record the 3 career clusters that you've selected. Let's see if copy and paste works. I'm going to just highlight them and paste them. Oh, perfect. I will have to do some editing. I'm not going to just leave this. If you're copying and pasting, I repeat, we're not going to just leave it. We're going to make sure that it is the same font that we've been using. So let's see what I've been using. Arial. Like, I don't even know what I've been using. Okay, I have to find Arial. Okay, and I'm going to make the font a little bit bigger, probably 12, maybe even 14. Yeah, I like how 14 looks. So you can copy and paste, but you have to format your font back so that everything looks consistent. So I want you to record your career clusters and the 3 that you've selected on your reality check. All right. Once you do that, you can hit next. And now what you get is all of the occupations that are within your career cluster. So if you look, I have my business management and administration career cluster, and I have the education and training career cluster, and I have the marketing career cluster. And all of these occupations that are shown are ones that have the wages that will meet my minimum requirement on my assessment. Okay, so again, these are all of the jobs in my career clusters that I chose that for me, it meets the 59,000 minimum requirement. Okay, so you have a list here that you're going to use, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so if you remember from the beginning of the video, there was a question that said list the occupations that meet your education and career preferences and wages. Now, if you only have a few occupations on your list because maybe your salary needed was really high for all the things you want in life, and there's only a couple on your list, you're going to list all of them. If you have a ton, like I do, I have a lot of options here, you are going to put 5. Okay, so list 5. Read through the list real quick and pick your top 5 from the list, which is what I did. So I know I just clicked back and forth a lot there, but I chose 5 career options and I just copied them from the list right there. Okay, so that's your next step. Go to this Google Doc, put it here. Go ahead and pause it to get that done. Once you do get it done, you're going to go to your Google Sites. And you probably guessed it. You're going to create a title and you're going to put occupations, then a text box. And now that we have them nice and typed out here, we can just copy and paste it from our Google Doc and put it in our Google Sites. Again, we want to make sure that we're keeping fonts consistent. And the only thing that's really different is I need to change this to size 14 so that it matches here. Okay, so you have your occupations list. You're going to put it in your Google Doc and then your Google Sites. All right. The last thing you're going to do on this Google Doc spans over into page 2. The question is, what did you learn about yourself from this career assessment that you just completed? I would like you to write 3 really good sentences. I've heard a couple kids already say, like, I can't write that many sentences. You can. I know you can. I have so much faith in you. We're getting to an age now where your teachers are going to expect you to write out your thoughts clearly and concisely in 3 sentences is something 8th graders can and will do for my class here. So I want you to write 3 sentences. What did you learn about yourself? You can tell me that the amount of money I need to make is a lot higher than I expected to maintain my lifestyle. Or there aren't a lot of career options that will maintain the lifestyle I want. Or maybe I need to scale some things down. Or maybe you learn that you live a really cheap life. And there are a lot of career options that will fit into your budget that you need to have. Maybe you found a career on the list of occupations that you're like, oh wow, I never thought about being an advertising manager, right? That sounds fun. And holy cow, look how much money they make. They make a ton of money, right? $114,000. So write 3 sentences that you've learned just through what you've noticed on this reality check, what it meant to you, and maybe some career options that you have found. Okay, so you're going to write 3 good sentences here. Then what you're going to do is go to your share settings in your Google Doc and do what we have been doing. Switch the Fairmont Area Schools to anyone with the link and click done, because then you're going to go to your Google Sites, and I'm not going to make you put your, what did I learn sentence here, but I am going to have you go to the insert panel and find your Google Doc in your Google Drive. So like we have been doing here. And I searched reality check and I found it. And then just like we've been doing, we're going to resize this so it's a page, at least a page tall, because I think that looks really nice and crisp, and it's a full page of the document. Okay. And if you haven't already, you want to make sure you hit publish. You always want to hit publish. So it'll show you what you currently have and what you're going to publish to, so that I can always see your most recent changes. And that's the end of this lesson.